Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are tuning into this from. Some of you may be actually just waking up if you're on other parts of the world, or maybe you're getting home from work, or whatever the case may be. Most importantly, if I am actually in a seated position right now, it obviously means that I really want your attention. And it also is telling you that what I am going to be talking to you about today is quite honestly something that you need to be paying attention to. Because in the very near future, this is going to be very different, meaning the ability for you to be involved in this is going to be much more difficult. And so what I ask of you is to take about maybe 20 minutes of your time and really focus on what I have to say. Number one, knowing that I've been in this space for a long period of time, and I don't say that to brag because that's not how I work, but at the same time, I have a lot of experience in this field. And so if you notice, I have toned down my voice. I'm not speaking to you in any hypey form or anything like that that could be, perceived as something different. Because I want you to understand that what we are going to talk today about is purely facts. So let's start off with fact number one. Fact number one is that more now than ever, people are looking for alternative ways to either get a second job or to have a second income for themselves and their family. And so as a result of this, and really as a result of the pandemic and what we went through, that opened people's eyes to the fact that there are other things that we need to do in order to help our families, in order to help our friends, in order to help our general situations. We know right now that the economy, especially here in the United States of America, is poor, and everything is becoming much more costly, much more expensive when it comes to gas, when it comes to food, or anything of that nature. Everything is becoming much more expensive. And so I want to take you on a very short journey today about a company that I've actually been involved with for almost 2.5 years now. And it is a project called Get Fit Mining, which soon will be called a new name called MoveQuest, which I actually really like the name a lot. And so what we're going to be talking about today is not an MLM. It's not a recruiting opportunity. It's not something where you have to go and talk to 1 million people about it to make money or anything like that. None of that will be spoken about. This is not a Forex opportunity. This is not trading. This is not arbitrage. This is not you getting paid like 1% a day or anything like that. It's none of that. You're not giving your money to a company to have them grow it for you. None of those things. It's not even an investment except in yourself. And so what I want you guys to understand is that every single day, you and I, we all do daily activities, whether that be taking steps, or that be walking or running or jogging or riding a bike. Doesn't matter what it is, but we're doing daily activities to help our health get better. Maybe it's to lose weight or whatever the case may be. We also try to get an adequate amount of sleep per night. And this adequate amount of sleep per night helps us to become healthier. We also try to do our best at any age to work out, especially as we get older. It is very important for us to work out more. We also try to do burning calories because it's important that whatever we put in our body, we're also burning calories at the same time so that that calorie expenditure allows us to lose weight, right? So they all go hand in hand. The exercise, the sleep, the working out all go hand in hand. But here's the thing. None of us really right now are being rewarded in any way, shape, or form in a very strong way for doing any of those activities until now. So about 40 days ago, this project kind of took a turn for the better, and it launched on a blockchain, which maybe some of you may be familiar with, and some of you maybe not be familiar with, which is okay. But here's what's not okay. What's not okay is taking the time to understand what you're exactly missing out on. And again, remember, I can't stress this enough. This is not a recruiting opportunity. Yes, there is some kind of aspect to it, but it's not that lucrative. Where it is lucrative is everything that you do individually. So I want you to understand that everything that is done here is on the blockchain. And it's on a blockchain, which is a layer 1. And a layer 1 means that it's built upon the original blockchain, which is Ethereum. So it's called a scaling solution to essentially what that would be. Okay? And the blockchain is Avalanche. And again, some of you may be familiar with it, some of you may not be. The good thing about Avalanche in comparison to Ethereum, which is where it originally came from, is that Avalanche fees are much cheaper. So they're not expensive. They're maybe 15, 20, 30 cents at most. So they're not costly in any way, shape, or form. So you don't have to actually spend a lot of money to send from one area to another, to approve transactions, to confirm transactions. You don't have to pay a lot for that. Now again, some of this may be over your head, and that's okay. But again, I want you to take the time to at least try to learn. And I'm going to do my best to convey this to you in a very easy way to understand. So, with this project, let's call it MoveQuest, you are able to be rewarded on a daily basis for all of your activities that you do. So let's name those activities, shall we? Working out, taking steps, burning calories, sleeping, and walking or running or whatever up to 10 miles. So if you max out all of those activities, so if you do 10 miles, if you burn 2,000 calories, if you sleep 8 hours, if you take 20,000 steps, and if you work out for 2 hours, those 5 things, rule of 5 is very important right now. So if you do those 5 things and you max out all of that, that's taking 20,000 steps a day. That's working out for 2 hours, sleeping 8 hours, 10 miles, and burning 2,000 calories. All those things gives you the ability to make the highest amount of this coin per day. Okay? And so There are some people, and I'll explain how that happens, but there are some people that are getting 5 of these coins per day. And when I tell you why that means something, you'll understand. You see, this project launched about 40 days ago on Avalanche. And when they launched, they were about $1. And at that point in time, it rose to about $4. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, if he's talking to me about this now, it's because he got rich from it. Well, here's the problem. The problem is I actually missed out on the biggest window to get into this project, even though I was involved with it a long time ago, which is my own fault. But I was busy with other projects because I thought that those demanded my attention. But what I didn't realize is that I was overlooking what was the greatest thing. Because you see, this thing that's on my wrist, this watch that does daily activities, that records what I do, this is like gold for me right now. And I want you to understand that, because once you really get the full picture of why you should be doing this, nothing will stop you. So this coin was $1. Then it went up to about $4 and people got really excited. And I saw it at $4. In fact, I saw it at $3.50. And I didn't jump into it because I said, you know what, it's probably going to correct. But guess what? It didn't. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. But it kept going up, and it went from $3.50 to $4 quickly. And then it went from $4 all the way up to $24. Fast. And then immediately I saw a little bit of a sell to $18. And at that point in time, I came in and I bought a decent amount of tokens at that point. But I still wasn't in the project. I still wasn't getting the NFT miners working for me. And again, I'll explain that in a couple minutes as well. So once I had those coins in my possession, I said, well, either two things can happen. One, this thing can dump like crazy, or this project is really real and it's going to go up. Well, here we are now, about maybe 8 days later, 9 days later. And the coin has gone from when I just spoke to you about it 9 days ago, it's gone to $97. Anywhere between $96 to $97. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, I missed my window. There's no point in me even looking at this project because it's where it should be, and there's no point because the price of the coin is too high, right? Well, that's really wrong. And here's why it's wrong. Because you don't understand the technical aspects that are involved within this project. And if you did, you wouldn't say that. So there's something built into this smart contract, which is essentially the way and the mechanism that it works. So there's something built into this, which is an evolution contract. And the evolution contract will go in and buy a certain amount of these MQT, is what they're called, okay, MoveQuest tokens, whenever there is a huge or significant sell-off in the price. And so it will go up and then it will come back down when there's a sell-off, but then the evolution contract will kick in, and that's 4 separate contracts, and that will bring up the price back to where it was, or it'll actually push the price even higher than it was before. So when we see all these people selling into this token because either they're taking profits and they've been in early, or they're claiming their MQT tokens from the mining that they're doing with their NFTs, whatever the case may be, that contract kicks in and immediately pushes the price back up. Now, this is something that I have never seen before. I have never seen, since I've been in blockchain, a smart contract that buys back the token. Now, this next fact, I cannot stress to you enough. There are less than 3,000 people that are in this project right now. And the price of the coin is about $96, $97. When there are 10,000 people in this project, which will happen fairly quickly, when there are 10,000 people in this project, the price of the token will be into the thousands, not 200 or 300 or 400 or 500, but into the thousands. And so imagine right now, people are earning, let's call it anywhere between $25 to $500 a day in this project. $25 to $500. Now, of course, that depends on how much you actually put in to purchase the NFT miners themselves. But let's be hypothetical but factual at the same time. Let's say you are someone who has the ability to put in the maximum. And the maximum is purchasing 7 NFT miners that you build up or you evolve to become 7 Omegas. And that's about $4,300, $4,400. Sounds like a lot, but stick with me for a second. So let's say you put in that amount of money. Okay? So you buy AVAX, which is the Avalanche coin, you buy the MQT token, and then you buy USDT. The combination of all three is that amount. Okay? And there's more steps, obviously, to get into to get to that point, but I'm just leveling it with you so that you understand. So now you have those coins in your possession. You've gotten those miners to 7 Omegas, and every single day, you are maximizing that amount. Your steps, your calories burned, your sleep, everything. You're maximizing that amount. With the current amount of people involved right now, with the price of the token where it is, you would be getting between $450 to $500 a day, or anywhere between 4 to 4.5 MQT token. I don't know about you, but that is pretty impressive. So imagine that, because if we did that on the high end, that's you getting $500 a day. That's you making $3,500 a week, which is more than 90% of Americans make at their job. That's you making $14,000 a month. That's you getting back what you put into this opportunity in a week and a half with the current price of what it is right now. Remember what I said. When 10,000 people join this opportunity, the token is going to be into the thousands, meaning one token, one MQT token will be worth well over $2,500. And if you're earning 4 of those a day on the low number, 4 of those a day, and you put in all into this project, what does that come out to you? That's $10,000 a day. If there were 10,000 people in this project, $10,000 a day. Now again, are there going to be people that are going to be cashing out of this project? Of course there are. Are there going to be people taking profits? Of course there are. But there's a smart contract that's built into the smart contract to add liquidity into the project to push the price of the token back up where it was before or higher. And when there are more people that are actually coming into this project, right now, there's 2,500 MQT tokens that are distributed every 48 hours to all the people that are submitting their data. So across that whole amount is 2,500. But as more and more people join, then the amount of MQT tokens will go up depending on how many people are involved in the project. And this follows the same reward system, or same halving rather, as Bitcoin. Every 4 years, the rewards are cut in half. So where can you earn the most is in the first 4 years. Where can you really earn the most is in the first year. Now let's go back a minute. Let's go back to 2011 when Bitcoin was about $100 and everybody didn't know what it was. They didn't understand the use case. They didn't understand the utility. They didn't understand what was going on with the project, and they stayed out of it until probably 2 years ago. And then you saw this huge amount of people start buying in like crazy. Investors, institutional investors, everybody you could think of started buying into the project. This is kind of like your second chance to get into Bitcoin. And I know you may have heard that before about other coins, but there's no other system that's like this. There's no smart contract that's designed like this. Because this is fully decentralized, there is nobody that's in control of anything. You're in control of everything. And at the same time, the price is not being manipulated like it is in Bitcoin, for example. In Bitcoin, you could have all these institutions come in and just start buying and selling the token like crazy. But what does Bitcoin have? It's a store of value. It's a way for you to buy and sell goods. Yeah, you can do that. You can put it onto a debit card and you can go spend it. You can do that. But what is the true use case and utility involved within it? Truly, it's decentralized and it's considered digital gold, right? That's really what the use case and utility of Bitcoin is. What is the use case and utility of the MQT token? Well, guess what? It's the same supply as Bitcoin, 21 million. It's got the same halving cycle as Bitcoin, every 4 years, and you're in year 1. It also gives you the capability of incentivizing people all across the world to become healthier. There are stories within our community of people that have taken this to the next level in terms of their fitness. and have taken their diabetes from being here to being here and are now living a healthier lifestyle because they know that if they live a healthier lifestyle, number one, they're going to live longer. And number two, they're actually getting paid to do it. And they're getting paid nicely to do it. This is not a recruiting gig of any kind. And as I said, yes, there is some kind of commission involved, but it's not much. It's not much at all. What I want you to understand is that if you take this seriously, and maybe you're not the person who can come in all the way at the top for $4,400. Maybe you can come in with a couple $100, get a couple smaller miners, and get them working for you. Here's what's going to happen in the future. The first thing that's going to happen is that these miners are going to actually be able to be leased. So you can actually collect rent on these miners while someone else is using them. The second thing that's going to happen is that they're going to be worth a lot more over time, and people are not going to be able to buy these as easily. So that's the second thing that's going to happen. The third thing that's going to happen is that the community will grow to be much larger than it is right now. The fourth thing that's going to happen is that the price of the token will start to go up significantly higher over time. The fifth thing that's going to happen is that adoption will start to be seen. And people will start to understand the value of this project. They will start to understand the value of exercise. And possibly, quite possibly, across the world, we will take this obesity issue that we have and literally put it to bed by showing people how they can move more every single day and be rewarded for it. If you don't agree with that mission, if you don't agree with that statement, then guess what? This isn't for you. But if you think it's smart to actually be rewarded and to find out more about this project, then I highly suggest either get back to me or get back to the person that brought you to this Facebook Live. Remember, the biggest mistake that you may miss is not knowing what you are missing out on. Have a good day or night. Talk to you soon. Live out.